Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, ladies, good morning.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Board of Trustees meeting, Guahan Academy Charter School. Today is the 20th of December. Tuesday, and the time now is 11:30. I apologize for being tired today. Okay, call to meeting to order now at that time. Roll call, Trustee Urquiza here.
All right.
Trustee Havelock here.
I'm here.
Trustee Rosie, thank you for
Yeah.
coming. Trustee Rosie, Trustee Lou is here. Okay, we have a part behind this. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of November 15, 2022? Copy, advance copy of this one. Need a motion to approve the last meeting,
So moved. Chair.
Need a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Moved by Trustee Avalon to approve the meeting of November 15, seconded by Trustee Fiza. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote.
Aye.
Trustee Lou?
Aye.
Aye. Trustee Avalon?
Aye.
Motion carried. Calendar, ACT conference. Do you wanna take on to this one or?
I just put it here because this has been completed and we have a very good output. We actually even had a meeting with Ms. Blue. Even our community resource, Mr. Charbol, have joined. But he was sent by another, sponsored by another school. But for GATS, who we sent were Mr. Castro, the curriculum coordinator, Mr. V as a counselor, and Ms. Lou as a trustee and Madam K.
Okay, are all the reports in written order? Were they all?
We have we
Written
took
too?
down notes, but the principal and assistant principal, the whole team is here. So that we're going
You
to.
you
put
want
up
to be able
something.
to document what they have actually experienced and learn from the conference. because-
For the 15.
Oh,
So and moving forward, what will they do, learning what they have learned from the conference, being in charge of certain. What are you looking for?
oh, she doesn't have a lot, but-
I think that should be an SOP whenever we have travels. that
Yes.
Are especially either local or federal offended.
And
It
they
makes the
also-
audit easier.
Yes, and
It backs up your finances, it backs up your expenditure. And at the same time, of course, the chrono order of, how you guys spend the money. Okay, that's on top of that. But the gist of what really was from the conference.
And for accountability purposes as well, not just to document a report from the ones we sent, but we also have to report in the next.
Very good. I would like for them to share with you that.
It takes their experience so that they can share.
Yeah,
it to
because they're the ones
everyone.
that are gonna be really here every day and sharing all those projections that they think would be good for the school. And then those two guys were actually marvelous. And so they, I think, covered everything that they need to cover. Fortunately, we're not able to secure and learn that, please. Secure funding for all the topics that the school needs to go to. We were just like chicken without moving out there and just picking up. We shouldn't do that. There are a lot of vital meetings there and sessions that should have been obtained by the trustees are okay, but those two are key. But I gave that information a while back and none of those was checked off and none were paid.
Yeah, apparently when they only released the topics at the end and we only secured for the general
Yeah, then
conference attendance.
yeah.
And then every time they have something new that is paid, they will send it late. By the time
I
we already
never-
submitted the
I never
budget.
got mine paid. I don't understand.
And then we have to sign up. This is our first time.
Yeah,
doing
but
ACT
that makes sure,
conference.
that makes sure because all those conferences I think are vital, especially for those two. And they would, since we don't get anything here. The ACTE bond does not have anything. That's the reason why I'm not active with them. But whatever they get from the state side is what you guys should have because we are EIA member. We pay a whole lot of money for that. And don't waste it. It's not just for for optics. It's really for
For
people to,
everybody.
for the school to really benefit from that. You know,
This is my first time, so honestly, I just learned that there are um paid sessions.
Oh,
And you were never
Because-
informed?
No,
We did
because
it all.
usually
That was
when we go
all-
to conferences, it's all general.
no,
assembly, right?
Not
But not for
everybody.
ACT, it's my
Not
first
only
experience
ACTE,
with
there will
ACT.
be specific, because they have to invite special guest speakers, so they have to pay their fare and the whole thing, so sometimes the organization subsidizes that,
Oh,
right? So just be aware, because we want to really be active and really gain a lot from the ACT. Unfortunately, this rules the nation, the whole nation. The ACT rules the nation. There's no additional organization that have been formed in that fashion when they should be able to guide schools, organizations in the way that career technical education is running. So,
make sure we
yeah,
secured them ahead of time.
And there's so many different topics, right? So usually the board, whoever goes would take specific topics so they can cover everything
yeah.
and not go to the
Now,
same
now,
thing.
now you
Yeah.
can join it. Because the nice thing about it also is, because those are specific topics that are paid, with the contingency that you send, we could have availed ourselves with a lot of good stuff there that we can bring back, right? But it is very difficult. I feel sorry for the two, because the two had actually just lose all the good information that they probably, but find out if ACTE have available, not video, but tape recorded sessions. And we have to pay for that. Because in all the other conferences that I have, they do not have, like, for some reason you lose out on the registration and your name. They have a lot of recorded sessions that you have to pay for. So pick and choose. Then go back to them and then, can you do that? Don't go through the one.
I also had access because while I did the virtual, I signed up
Yes.
for the virtual.
Yes.
So I attended all the ones that I know
Free,
you guys,
public, yeah.
and they recorded the
Yeah.
sessions, and I still have access for them
Yes.
until.
So that's
next
what they promise us, that there'll be recorded sessions, so we can avail of those and share probably sessions by through your PD or to other forum that you can.
But I'll ask the
use them.
ones if they have
Yeah,
recorded
because
for
it's
the
really
paid
a great
ones.
conference, it's so inspiring. So yeah, share with the board of what the other guys have felt about this. Just share by email. Where's the ELDP training coming up?
No, I just informing you that I was not selected.
No, did
Because
you?
it-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I
must have read it,
forwarded
yeah.
to you.
Okay.
Yes.
I read the other, before we read it.
Did they give her a reason? I didn't know.
Oh, there's a basic, I forwarded the general email, right, of informing that
Yeah.
I was not selected. I forwarded to
Yeah,
all of
please
you at that
refresh
time.
us on that, what ELDP.
It's the leadership training that I applied for. Madam Faye recommended me to apply
It's the
for
whole of
it.
Micronesia,
Yes.
the whole of Micronesia, Guam and
So
Micronesia.
there are
So
several
they select
applicants.
several applicants. I think it's a little political. Because the selection seems to be people that, are known from certain areas. But
And
it's okay.
there's
Don't get tired of that.
requirements, we submitted everything. It's been
I hope
like
it's
2
not
months
political.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very, very selective process. It's not easy to get in there. It's
I'm
just,
sure there are other
There's a
other
lot. Basically, they
opportunities
were
in the
saying.
future, right?
okay, moving
But I
on.
think they do it yearly, so I'll try again next year.
Yeah, keep on be back then, because
Yeah.
you can really,
It's just
you
really-
can really be part of that.
Yeah.
Okay, STEM PD,
STEM PD with GDOE, so this is one of the PD trainings that we are able to avail of from GDO, from the consolidated grant, and it's right time because we sent also our elementary representatives from elementary teachers. It was held over here at the GDOE main office. So we sent elementary teacher, middle school teacher, secondary science, and then as an administrator, I went and I attended. So it's very good timing because this is the time that you were at ACTP. So
it's connecting it.
the
yeah.
goals is the goals and the
Identical.
plan is very goes hand in hand
Yeah.
like a glove.
Yeah.
Because with the STEM PD, they invited guests, right? And then
Yeah, yeah, they
from the
usually do that
US.
from off island.
So when Mr. Charkolov sent me the one from ACTE, like a
Yes.
plan
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that our
Yes,
school will
yes,
be ACTE connected, right? So
Yes.
we can drive the students to the careers or the
Yeah.
pathways in different. It also STEM also includes technology.
Yes.
So it says there that you should have a plan. It's school wide.
Yeah.
You don't wait till the end when
Yeah,
they are
yeah,
in
yeah.
high school. So you have to
Right.
start when they're in
Engineering and technology.
elementary
Yeah.
and then incorporate
Which
the
brings me
STEM.
back to our software, what that the Edge Unity is so rich in all of these things. How we're driving it and how we're really using it, align it with all the ACT guidelines. I think we can maximize the use of it. We pay annual membership at Edge
Um,
Unity. Is it being upgraded?
the last time we requested, we opened up for the middle school because we only use the high school portion. But we had a meeting with the leadership team, the
Tear it
administrators,
apart, look at it like, the
and we sent out a survey.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because you know how in the accreditation process, we said that we're going to update our curriculum maps. So now it's the teachers who customize the curriculum maps and the standards that the students need. So they were saying that in the middle school, we don't need the education anymore because we
See?
have our own.
See, that's why I said it should be able to kind of like run out its usefulness, because with the ACT being almost penetrating all of the educational institutions all over America, what is Edgenuity doing? It's not upgrading, and we continue to pay. That's waste of money. We can do our own. We can do our own ACT on our own. The way and how Guam would have to be faced up with, right? In all whatever challenges we have. So look into that and make sure we should unsubscribe
Yes.
and just look at
We
how.
just gather the documentation so that
Yes.
we know
Because they
that we all
continuously-
agree, all
Where did we
stakeholders.
get that from? Is that from the guy?
Unfortunately, I wasn't
Is it
here
Thomas?
when we.
No,
definitely
that
not.
guy was here before. What is his name?
I remember that was purchased by us, and
It
there
was introduced by him.
and there was
Yeah.
Ricky.
No,
No,
Ricky
he
was
was
on the
also a
IT.
counselor, I
Yeah.
think, or
Oh,
he was
okay.
handling the.
Anyway,
You're
Yeah,
right.
forgot
I
his
don't
name.
know really if I have to look at did it really serve the purpose for the year that we had it?
During the time, yes, because during the pandemic, we were online. So that was a tool that we need to guide the students. So they were online doing their work, their tests, and
But
it's
with a different
common
learning,
for
with
standards.
your different LMS now. I don't think you can disconnect. Look into it, and then as I said, you educators are the one that are really gonna look at it, see whether it's still useful.
Yeah. At least now we have
The
a
platform that you're
way.
using right now, you just have to integrate that, but maybe why?
At
With
least now
other
we
things.
have a way to assess all the programs that we purchase or we subscribe into. Before we just take them,
Yeah.
but we don't
Because
assess if it's really useful. Now we have surveys.
those times we don't have anything to start with. There's really nothing to start. We're trying to define how the curriculum should be. Not only your regular content should be just there, but we're looking into evolving into like, what is tomorrow? Are they going to be CTE? Are they going to be this? They're going to go to college. What are they going to do? So everybody was thrown into trades, right? And we have a few journeymen that went out, that got out there, and probably are working now. But other than that, there was no other choices. They did not look into the hospitality. I mean, it's all. That's why we have to buy a Unity, because it's guiding
Yeah,
us to
you're
make sure that the different portion hospitality, business will have to be utilized by cats. That's why you guys really have to analyze it. There's still some mistakes.
And we just have to build relationships with the
Yeah.
agencies so that we can direct the students their own
Right.
interests.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look into it. Don't waste any time or money. It's really not going to be useful for. There's no upgrade through the years. Wow. You know, the software that I've been using since I opened up my company is constantly upgraded. I pay a lot of money for just the what you call the tech support. The upgrades are
There's
free.
new materials, but
Wow.
the base same common core standards.
Okay, anyway, you take care of that. Let's go.
So
The
number
Innovative School
4,
Summit.
Innovative School Summit, December 1 to 4. There were 2 conferences that were under consolidated grant. The first one, I informed you, right? Our the charter schools didn't make it, but this time they were able to make it. So we sent 2 teachers to Texas, and it was
Who did you send?
we sent Miss Aileen Pranian, a 5th grade teacher, and we also sent Miss San Jose, who's a middle school teacher. And just like how we do it, they have to do a report and they have to share what they experienced and learned during the
Who brought
professional
emphasis on
development.
that? So we can get that.
And they enjoyed it because this is
They
their
learn a lot.
and this is a time to communicate to build relationship with the other charter schools as well, with TOE representatives. So whatever they offer under the consolidated grant, we take advantage, and then we have our own specific, which is ACT. It's TOE doesn't do ACT. So
It's
ACT
amazing
is
because
our local.
they send one. I believe one. Luke, did they send one?
Really?
GDOE. Luke,
Miss Lu,
did they send one from GDOE?
did you meet anyone at ACTE
from
from
GDOE?
GDOE?
ACT. I think they have one
Yes.
representative.
We have, no, we, from the central office?
Yeah, I think they sent two.
No. I didn't see any, but we had teachers, like from Okadu,
Yeah.
George Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, Okadu, George Washington,
Seven
Southern High
teachers,
School,
but not on the,
Astumbo,
on the CG.
Astumbo Middle School. Yeah, but I
Saipan
didn't see
has a
any
big
central
contingency.
office.
Very big contingency in Saipan. They really use the IRB money to send their teachers.
Good, because it's really, you learn a lot,
Yeah.
sharing it with other schools too.
No,
and
but
get-
these ones, so the ACT director there, Dr. Taylor, is saying, when I send you, when I talk and we have a meeting compared to ACT, you should understand what I'm talking about. So by using the ARP money, it make it efficient for CNMI to really drive this through. We don't have that here. You know, Joe Sanchez would be very good at that, but can't do so many things all at the same time.
By the week, and then
I
did
know,
they make
in
a
a few
decision yet? on that?
days, whether
They
it's
haven't made decision yet?
28,
Not yet.
don't know
26.
why they were waiting so long.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes, number 6,
Sorry,
we,
5.
oh yes, number
the
5,
talent search.
ideology, educational talent search. So someone had sent me.
I forwarded that to you.
Yeah.
And look at this election.
Yes, so what I did is like I forwarded it to Miss Sanchez and Miss
Yes.
Maria as well. But basically, this one will support, it's a program that will support qualified high school students who may be able to
It's scholarship.
continue, have
Yes, very
scholarship
good, very
for that. If they wanted to continue with specifically performing
Oh, that's
arts.
good.
So what are the criteria on the talent search? I
There's a
remember
grade
reading on
requirement.
it briefly,
Yeah,
yeah? There's a
There's grade
GPA,
requirement
yeah.
for GPA, and
3.0,
have to fill out all the information.
3.0 is I
None,
asked
none of the
I-
parents is educationally determined as to be. The parents are not supposed to be having at least bachelor degree. I tried
Ye-
that,
Yes, yes, that's right.
but I
So,
disqualified from that.
They will pick more those who are not, those who don't have in their
Higher
family
education.
yet.
I really like the very detailed. The selection and how the process is gonna go is very detailed. So you'll not miss the point on how as a school, you be directed to really how to refer your
And
students.
family income too.
Yes. Great move. Brief in workplace, thank you so much for conducting
Brief,
that because
yes.
I think that's very important.
So we already had one from with Miss Sakamoto, I believe, just for the faculty and staff was held on a Tuesday. But our staff, 12-month employees didn't have the chance to attend that meeting. So we invited them again on December 22 this
Thank
few
you.
days
That's
after
very important.
for the staff. For the students, I already reported that we had invited to the assistance of Mr. Anderson. social
Okay, Chris.
work- Yeah, so she sent like social workers to do a debriefing with our students and we did that already. That's it for that time. I would like to thank special thanks to Miss Joyce because she was the one who recommended Miss Santos, who is certified for this one.
Great.
Number 7, that's employees Christmas party. So when I wrote this, actually you're right. They were thinking of making it in January 14 because they didn't have funds. The social committee didn't have funds, and it was like all the hotels were fully booked.
Yes, yes.
Then I said that just try to do it December so we still have the Christmas
Yes,
meal.
correct, yeah.
And then we'll ask for donations probably. And then through the assistance of Miss Maria, we were able to book Holiday Inn on December
Oh,
28th.
Holiday Inn.
And we're going by the set menu, the minimum.
We've done one graduation ceremony. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
booked it for that. I'll give more
Yeah.
details,
Yeah.
but it's very affordable and
You
they
sure they're open, huh? I haven't seen them actually open.
I guess she has connection,
Okay.
so she
I
was
hope they're
able to
open,
close
because
it
they've been
for
closed for a while.
class. It's 6 to
Well,
11.
anyway, they're closed for a break,
Yeah,
so their carpet smells already, so I guess.
6 to 11 p.m. And that way we got
Okay,
our
everybody
staff
calendar
open.
that please before,
Holiday Inn?
before we,
Yes.
December 28th, that has, that
Wednesday.
changes.
Evening
It's a
And
time.
do
Wednesday,
you know-
6
do you
to
know-
11.
6
we
to
booked
11.
Yes.
6 to 11 in the evening.
Yes.
Wow, you're pretty dancing.
There's one
Where's it gonna be?
Holiday Inn.
Wednesday.
I just got the
There's so
hotel
many.
yesterday.
There's so many activities. There's so many get together. Okay, Pili.
Number
January
8,
20th.
PD, January 20th. This is already scheduled. We're in the process of doing the agenda to make sure that
And thank you for
people
sharing
will
that because I've been looking for all the invites there. Except not being able to go to that. It's quite. It's nice to get the invite and the detail of what you guys can put up.
for this PD, we will be concentrating more on the academic or everything that the travelers,
Oh,
the
conference.
travelers, the conference
That
that's
they
in the
learn.
report and
6%, right?
Yeah.
6%.
By the way, what's the name of the hotel again?
Holiday Inn for the
Holiday Inn.
Christmas
Right
party.
next to Matapang. Matapang Beach where I swim every day.
Yes,
Right next to it.
like when you enter the parking lot.
You know where the
right?
police
one on the
Coleman
Oh,
is? Yes, yes.
The zoo.
And the zoo that never opens.
Holiday Inn. Still
Um,
not open, right? Does it look?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, and then
Facts.
this is another conference that we saw. We never had the option or the privilege to attend
What does
this
PAX
is
stands for?
is the rental.
Okay.
Because right now we've been getting it
Yeah.
from the toll business, right? Because
Yeah,
they're the,
yeah, yeah,
so we pay the
Can we go
subscription
directly
for
with
them.
that?
That's why I wanted to.
Yeah, I really
to
don't like the way,
register.
the toll buses have gone so big, right? Really big. I didn't realize they're also running PHRS upstairs. They have other kinds of business, so I don't know how big of a focus is it in Redwood? Because in the past, when we go directly to Redwood, because we have issues, we cannot go directly to them, but we have to go through that. But then
But
bringing in, going back to us takes a little bit more time and
we have to book
and-
a training
and
from
there's
them.
always a book, they have to always book the training and charge us, right? So if these guys are are these the software? What is the fax relationship with Redwood? Are they the authorized?
Yeah,
You
they're
learn?
the authorized,
Good.
but FAXis is basically the network directly, just like
Yes,
ACT in
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
mainland.
yes.
So I wanted to have three at least, Miss Ressa being the one
Johan
handling
maybe one
that,
of the IT
yeah,
guys.
one of the IT
Yeah.
guys to attend the conference.
yes,
That
yes.
way we can directly learn from
Because
the
Ressa has learned RenWeb
on
through
her
just really
own,
on
yeah,
her own.
watching
Reading
YouTube
was-
videos.
She had really learned because it's needed to be learned. So maybe we can complete all the services that are part of the which is the POS for tracking purposes, because you got to be able to do that in case we get into the CNP program. You need all the features of your RenWeb to really accommodate all to learn. I mean, get those information out. Otherwise, with the digital, we can be doing manual capturing those information. Doesn't matter whether it's all 100% free, but the data needs to be captured, and the POS system allows us to do that, right?
So they can get
I'm
the
like a
training.
broken record. I've been talking about the POS, but we never got to. Is that being used now?
No,
It's just not used. I'm really a broken record. But I tell you, when you go into your CNP program, you need data after data after data. Just make sure your CNP will support you.
yeah, but for the CNP, because they have
It
Gold
will be
for
integrated for that. But meanwhile,
because you like even before, right, we submitted the application to
Yeah.
CNP, we purchased the biometrics.
yeah, biometrics, which
Yeah,
we're not
that
using now.
works, but we're not using
using
it.
it
So
now,
I
because
didn't
you're
want
not-
to buy
Oh,
something.
Yeah, yeah.
I subscribe
No, we're
again,
not
but we're not
using,
using it.
No, but you
so
have one
let's
that
just
is
wait.
useful and
Waste of money.
functional. That you can use now. You don't have to do anything. It's just capturing your POS instead of manual count.
If
That's
that-
very efficient. I think you can ask one of the IT to look into. Really had failed to work on that for years that he was.
For so long.
But we kept it. But we kept
I put that in the memo.
biometrics.
I put that on meeting. I put it. The POS never got to what I don't know.
We took off, huh?
Never took off. I don't know. Okay, let's go. Reports. CEO again.
Yes, federal grants, federal grants. So for ESF two,
Yes.
under equipment, requisitions keyed in is $679,557 from a total of
You're
813,000.
down to 200 now.
So the
Almost less
difference
than
is
200.
133.
So less than 200,000. That's very good. Can use
And
So
then the
it.
yeah.
supply
When was that extended? Up to when?
next year.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
but
God
we
is
paid
good.
everything.
God is
Or
good. It was
yeah.
supposed to expire September 2022. They extended it to
One more
September
year?
2023. God, so use that, please.
so we have actually used up
So you're down to
Everything.
130
in total supplies, contractual, everything out of the 2.75 million that we got approved. The difference is just 284,000. And again, this is because most of the items are cheaper than the actual
Price that they-
item.
Yeah, because they bought this volume.
Yeah.
Volume buying with
And it's
GDO.
And we-
cheap, and it's
we-
cheaper when you
sometimes
buy
we-
volume.
Yeah, we know that with GDO.
And most of the time
just
we
takes
go,
time.
we ride with their
Yeah.
items.
Because they
Oh.
just takes time. Yeah.
For
Because
example,
they
the
do.
PPE.
But that's smart. That's how you do it.
We
You
ride
ride with
with
their IFB, and then if you know it's useful, go along with it.
Yeah,
It's your
When we
money.
had the quote, it's.
Anyway, they're holding the money for you. You don't have the money. So they want to get rid of that eventually. So you
Join
just have,
them.
you have just put your wishes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that should happen. Okay, let's go.
Yes.
To be
For,
sure, finally, hallelujah.
ARP though,
Oh,
the
ARP, go ahead,
only pending purchase orders is 692,000.
Balance, please.
Um,
How much was given to you on ARP?
4.6.
Okay, 4.6 million,
We only keyed in 708,000.
708.
Oh, still a long
That's
way
why
to go.
I'm asking you to rush your classroom. So you can use those classroom, earmark those.
We already keyed in everything. It's just a matter of them getting back to us. And
So
mostly,
the total amount of what was keyed in out of your 4.6 is what?
709,000.
Ay, no, you still have 3 million to spend.
No, but the rest, the big amounts is the transportation for the summer school program.
Okay.
You know that it was
Yeah,
approved,
yeah, yeah.
but
And
they
then it was
couldn't,
denied.
they don't
So
know
when
how
is the
to
deadline
allocate.
for that?
It's still next year. The thing though is just like that's a big amount. I also keyed in under ARP the meals during the summer program.
Oh,
good.
Unfortunately, they wouldn't give it to accept it because they said we're not CNP qualified for
Yeah,
the
because
DPW.
it's federal
You
money.
have to, they have to have a contract
Yes,
before
yes,
or
yes,
a
yes,
PO before
yes,
they
yes.
pay it.
Correct.
So I requested already from the new team that oversees the funds,
CG, yeah.
right? I asked if they can help us because the money's there. It's just a way of reallocating it. If they don't approve it, if there's no, we all go by DPW anyway for buses.
Yeah,
So they billed us. We have an invoice. You don't
You
wanna
guys-
pay it because it's already there. So it's a matter of.
Did you guys pay that anyway?
No, because I
Yeah.
requested them
Thank
to
you. Because
reallocate.
the board had a resolution not to pay that.
So did they approve of your request?
You're waiting because
You're waiting.
they already
They
brought
can-
it to
they can wait
the
forever.
acting superintendent. They
Yeah.
already brought it up to the-
Francis?
Yes, yes,
They're
exactly.
just finding a way to.
Oh, Francis, have you seen the DPW now?
No, Francis
Oh,
is still at
Ariola.
DOE.
Ariola and
No.
Linda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Linda is the
Vince-
mo-
Vince
Linda is more
Ariola.
hands-on
But
because
he said
Linda
he wants to
is
get on.
classified.
But he's
But
still there.
basically, they want us to pay. But
But
I said wait
anyway,
because we're waiting for
It was,
approval of acting
Correct,
superintendent.
correct, because you wrote that up ahead of them.
Mm.
You know, those were actually programmed and encumbered in our books, but it's them only that's not paying them.
And we always go under GDO
Yeah,
when it
yeah,
comes
yeah,
to
yeah.
DPW.
Okay.
Okay, let's go, because we still have a lot to go back to work. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Educated.
I know.
You said you're coming, you better come, because you still
Have fun,
makes a little nervous when they have quorum. Okay, go ahead.
I love
They
our
got
team.
indicated, they already put their copier machine, so actually today it's already ready for a new classroom for our
Wow.
middle school
Wow.
tomorrow teacher, so middle school tomorrow teacher doesn't have to walk
That's a
in.
very big classroom. I remember
Finally.
the classroom.
I know that's
Finally,
Mark's
finally.
Mark's,
classroom.
oh my, that
He
Mark,
really likes
I love that classroom.
And it will-
Because, you know, he even extends, you know, like
Right.
the activities of, I think they keep them to help them with the homework.
So who's going to use it then?
So the high
school.
school tomorrow.
And after school.
And then we move from the other, and it also will be the after school holding tank.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Because
it's-
that's
That's
really
a big
good.
area.
They're
yes.
big, yeah, I'm glad and they're still asking why you're asking for the door. They said they can't really find your door.
Yeah,
So-
so I already
So
contacted.
Senator
Gordon.
Cristóbal would just say, please tell your CEO, we really cannot find the door.
They did. So I already contacted Cortec. I
Yeah.
said if they can find
Yeah.
a used store from
Yeah.
other
So
properties.
that's missing a door.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Okay, just ask them to replace the door because we don't know what happened to the door.
they're-
Somebody has a new door in
I
this
know,
house.
really, right? Why would they take a door?
No, I think they took it out because they were given a donation of a new door,
Oh,
but they brought it with them. So the old door,
Somebody-
probably they put
somebody
it
just-
somewhere
yeah.
and
And
then
they don't
it
know
was
where
on
it's
the
And
at.
anyway,
day.
she's apologizing. She says, I really can't find your door.
Okay. I'll take care.
On a high level meeting, she's apologizing regarding the door.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, but
Just
I've been
kidding.
emailing her, that's why.
That's why. Stop
yeah.
now.
Okay.
There are more important things to do than the door.
the door.
Okay, Sped?
SPED compliance meeting we had for the very first time, a
Wow,
meeting
that's
with
correct.
Mr. Babalta.
That's so
Ah.
nice.
So they are also very happy because
Is that the one
basically
arranged
we're-
by Mr.
Finally get connected.
I called them, I asked Ms. Sanchez to contact them so that we can be in
It's about
compliance with
time.
all the.
It's
So
about time,
we're working
guys.
together, this will be the first year that they're gonna guide us basically. They even said that from all the charter schools, right, we're the first one that they really are working with so that we are
So so with the help that Mr. Babates did, what are your expectations for the CRT here to be in compliance?
Yeah,
Is there a
she
way you're
attended-
monitoring her to
Yes.
ensure? Because if you're not in compliance, we don't want to lose money, you know.
Yeah,
right.
CRT, yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Right?
So we do now. She's officially our CRT. Her evaluation was done.
Who is
Miss
that?
Mantanona. She
Yeah.
was like an interim, if you still remember when she started
yeah,
August.
I think for the longest time, this is one of the weakest
Yes.
of the area that got.
So we
We're
couldn't
always
find-
We're
fearful.
glad we got the
We're always
educators
fearful
here.
that
Because-
we're gonna be,
Because
gonna be
DOE, you
penalized
really
for
need the
this. But now
CRT.
at least we're
Very
beefing it
critical.
up, right?
We can't
Because for the
find
longest time,
other
yeah.
documents, it's
Yeah.
missing and
Yeah.
everything.
But Mr.
we-
Babate is really a good
He
individual.
is. He,
He'll work with you.
And Miss
So
Marie,
we're-
too.
we're-
Miss
we're
Marie
clearing
is
the
the one
cobwebs of that.
directly guiding us.
Si
with
Marie.
the Miss Marie.
God bless. Miss
Yeah,
Mabauta.
and all the paperwork are moving forward.
Yeah.
That's
They all,
good.
at least they know where we stand and where we started, because we cannot go back anymore and
Yes,
find
yes.
like who did it,
did
who,
what.
why
Yeah.
was it lost.
Just
So
have to
we're
It's a
just
waste.
start all
It's
over
really
again.
a waste of time
Yeah.
because there, you couldn't find anything. You
the
wouldn't find
weekly
anything at
meeting,
all.
especially because the CRTs normally would meet every Friday to help each other to make sure that they are. in
we
compliance.
have one assigned for us for the elementary. So yeah, and Miss Mantanona has like we stepped it up and made sure that we're all
This is
paperwork.
perfect.
That's good.
Smoothly. Okay, STEM. I know the uniform.
Yeah, so STEM, green schools, ACT, it's just driving, just like as I mentioned. Elective classes, leadership classes, which is an
Wait. What happened to uniform?
Uniform.
Who was
Oh, sorry, I'm blind. Uniform
Because
vendor
that's always
PTO
was an issue
update.
before.
Yes.
When
so
we
finally-
have the PTO and the administration trying to wrangle and who should be awarded, who is now the vendor of the uniform?
Let's
So they're gonna sign it for this because it ends 2023, right?
Yeah.
So we're just reviewing the proposal. There's Geno's and the current vendor who is
Bix.
Royal Bix. Finally, we got the check for the
Yeah.
yesterday. So
For the
we-
what?
For
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 the-
the son.
Oh
for
my
the
gosh.
So I gave it to her
Shame
yesterday.
shame on them.
I
You
know.
had
He was
to
really happy.
track
I know,
them
because
down.
I told to Vic and said you
Scholarship.
promised and you haven't fulfilled your promise, Vic.
So yeah, this is
So we had
under,
the meeting
this is-
and made sure that.
this is
we were
under
there.
the oversight of your PTO, right?
Yes, so
So
they
So
were
we have
here,
nothing to
they're-
do with this guy. Because we don't want to be legally obligated to
Mm.
any of the negotiation that
PTO,
will be done to get the uniforms going. It's between the PTO and the parents.
But we had to assist them yesterday because what's been happening is that they will have a meeting and then it's verbal,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"I don't do
No
this," so I
documentations.
already asked the
President,
president,
who's the
just
president
CC
now?
Bernie Scotted,
Oh, yeah.
and I asked them to just CC the principal so that we're all on the
Yeah,
same
Yeah,
page and
they
know
support
what's
and
going
guide
on.
them.
Nobody's
We're in the
moving
loop.
different direction.
So
Good.
they
There's,
even had the meeting because they were requesting for a meeting at the office of Royal Fix. I said, just hold it here.
there's gonna be coherence in all of the activities, rather than somebody wanting this, somebody wanting that, right?
So Ms. Sanchez yesterday
There's
was
so much
basically
issue.
just the witness for their meeting and just guiding them so that an extra follow-up too, so that they can comply. As we said,
Yeah, especially on financial matters.
Yeah.
What is her name? Cadet is really good at providing advice to them and guidance.
Yeah, I think there's already a process now, so we're not gonna be missing anymore. We will be able to really look into what the PTO is doing,
Right.
start with the reporting with the books,
Yep.
with the so there's not gonna be any more.
I know
audit,
the
right?
record is okay now,
No,
right?
no
Everything is-
audit issues.
No
because
audit
that
issue,
became
yeah.
an audit because it's just like, this is within the radar of GACS and you guys don't know what's going
I'm
on.
Yeah.
happy with Cadet.
Unfortunately,
Everything's okay now.
So now we're good. Thank you. Thank you.
And then letter E, STEM, green schools and ACT, this is just in line with what I have mentioned earlier. It's right timing, so we'll make sure that it's not just in the high school, we start from the beginning.
Okay, can you align, the green school thing has been actually being actively pursued by, on the URG level, I think through the, not the land grant, the land grant? Because Sunny Shelton's project,
The sustainable.
the sustainable, right?
Yes, that's the one.
Make sure that we have a
That's what
strong
we are.
alignment with them, because these are the guys that will pave the road and really how to do it, right? If we're just gonna talk about it and you're not gonna align with the group that actually moves it, because they come to the classrooms and tell you exact, and give time to the students how we need to plant seeds on whatever, right?
That's the one that I attended, or our
Yes.
teachers attended for the STEM. It's actually them
Very good.
guiding. It's like
Yes.
they're the ACT of the
Oh,
STEM
yes,
school.
yes, that's, but anyway, also recently, I think the governor or the lieutenant governor has actually talked about how really this have to be beefed up in all public schools. So the charter school will be the first one to get in, get hold of, I think I have Shelton's number, because we, the sustainability program got some of the money out of GDEP. But what a good program, you know? It really targets the awareness of the children as they are small, to make sure that, you know, they know how to do simple planting and simple investing in knowing the greens and all these things. At the same time, taking care of the environment.
And
It's a
the
very
good
good
thing
program.
about it is in line with the climate priority. climate
Yes,
change
yes,
priority.
yeah, the climate change priority. But if the schools spearheading that or moving into that, aligning themselves with that, what a great, well, the whole nation, the whole world is really climbing the preservation or environment preservation. And the Sheldon is so passionate about it. We're talking, if you talk about circular economy, right? And they're already moving into that, like shirt like that, instead of throwing away, we make that into something. So he's really good, very aggressive.
Mhm.
So let's share a little bit of that, because those are the things that I think in the future we will really thank ourselves for introducing our children to that.
Self-sustained.
Yes, there's more. If you can get him if you can invite Shelton to come here and speak in one of the ABPDs, you know, that would be awesome, really. Keep that in mind. I know we have a lot more things going, but did you really talk about the STEM and the green school ACT?
Yeah, food security and all
Yeah,
that.
food security and all, right? Okay, let's go elective classes.
Elective classes, so the first semester already ended December 16. So when we come back, or when students come back on January 3rd, that will be the third quarter, which is the second semester. And since we're really actively trying to connect with classes for our high schoolers where they can benefit right away, we received we've learned from this two classes, so driver education, that way they can also earn a credit.
Yes.
So the principal and assistant principal are working on it to make sure that how we can incorporate that, so that after a student enrolls on this class here, as an elective, they earn a 0.5 credit,
Yeah.
and then they also have their driver certificate. That somehow leads to them, because when they go to
These are
grades-
lectures, right? These are just lectures that they have to pass, so at least they can pass the
Yeah.
written exam, right?
So we're just in the works of getting the details, whether the student has to pay them
Yeah,
directly
because
for
that's very
the
important.
certificate
What
25.
are we budgeting on this and which money and where is it coming from? Because you need to have some money here. You need to be
We
able
will
to
ask them,
yes.
basically, the principal is already connecting with.
just make
the one-
sure that there are a selection of vendors, because you cannot just be naming Carmen's
Yeah.
driving
Yes,
school here. Just be very careful, because if this will require more than 25,000 purchase for the whole school, you might have to go for an IMP. Okay, just be careful.
And
It
it
looks
depends
like-
on the
Audit.
population of the students too, because it depends on how many are interested to get a
True,
driver's license.
that's very true, but there will be costs associated with it. But I think the selection process will give not only the best, but also for the money and for audit purposes, right? You should want to be able to track down where, although this is really wonderful. This died for what? For what GDO was doing this, right? Almost in all public schools.
I'm not sure, Miss Lou, did GDOE do driving test as well in public
I don't
schools.
think so.
It
Yeah,
wasn't
and
it?
we didn't have.
But
driver's
it's
ed.
now being activated in
They
all
have
the
to go
schools now.
private.
But it's good.
Yeah, it's being activated in all schools actually it's probably, it's very, very good because then they learn how to behave as drivers more than the actual thing. Because the actual thing probably is a different story. But driving lesson,
They
you
get
know,
introduced.
you can introduce, right? You can be introduced to understand what driving is really all
Yeah.
about. It's gotta be more on a more serious thought of like what driving is really all about. It's not about getting into the ways, broom, broom, broom.
Yeah,
You know,
safety,
really-
all the
really-
different
We're talking
signs
about the
and
protection
everything.
of lives, your own lives and other people's lives.
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Responsibility is number one, yeah. That would be a nice one. I'm all for that.
And it's an elective that they
Yeah,
can
it's
Yeah.
like credit.
So you
yeah.
can
That
create-
will be sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but these students cannot get their license
yeah,
unless they went to a
Like
formal
formal.
driving
Yes.
school.
Training.
yes.
And then they have to pass the test.
This is what we're
They
trying to
would not-
do on the
Tax and
elected.
revenue will not
Yeah.
give them.
No, this is what we're trying to do.
Introduction
Like,
to
now,
driving.
because you are aligning with a private vendor, this is, they paved the way on accomplishing that part of the driver licensing, right? The actual one will be, I don't know how would that be accomplished later on, I don't know. Because since we are adopting it is really under the elective, this is correct, because that is really, but the passing that actual written exam and then doing the actual,
Actual driving.
I don't know that component.
Yeah.
But then maybe when you
Comes
have the
after.
vendors to really explain to you how the other schools are doing it, then we have a better idea. Okay, human
This
resources,
student
No,
leadership,
actually, leadership, this
is
is the,
that synonymous to student government?
no. So
Okay.
the first one, F.1, this is free. So, John Maxwell is a very good leadership,
Well-known.
speaker,
Speaker,
we're
yeah.
very well known, with business, leadership skills and everything. He's always invited.
Even in church. they
Yes, and
use the
even-
concepts
yeah.
that they teach.
If you're on Guam?
No,
No,
he's,
online.
he's,
Online.
in the States.
online
I
access.
know of this because I pay thousands of dollars just to get certified under his program for leadership.
Yes,
But he has this program which we call I Lead, and this is for the youth.
yes, yes.
So the goal is he developed the curriculum for leadership classes for the youth, 12 years old, to the high school, 18. Make sure that every
Whatever, right?
student has to make sure that every student has the skills to make decisions, things in life, and
very
they
nice,
get
Which is
Yeah.
good,
life.
teaching them that.
But this is free. So what's good also is that we have an organization that does the leadership class, and they will provide the instructors to us already.
Who's this?
It's from the church, the organization, that they were federally funded already to apply the curriculum. So, but other than that, Mr. Frankie and myself already attended the Zoom call with the team of John Maxwell itself because it's free. So we wanted to learn exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I
We're
attended
just
one
taking-
lecture.
Yeah, we're just taking advantage of the free coach that they will send, so that we're gonna offer this as an elective class for this.
So
our
how,
juniors.
how is the instruction being delivered? Is it like you and Frankie? Or actually
No, the one
teaching
we're
the
gonna
class?
take advantage of is the organization will provide the instructor or the coach. They call it it's not an instructor because it's
They're
leadership, right?
coaches.
They're like a coach or a mentor, but
Coaches
it's
or
an
mentors.
adult supervision. So basically, they will send that person to be the
Okay.
one,
Actually,
just like
On
GCC,
campus,
the
yeah,
one
right.
campus.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're already looking into opening more, but the teacher would be me, Frankie, or anyone.
But
because we have
develop
to
that strongly, if you can just get, your curriculum solid on that, rather than from the outside group, and this could be internally done,
Yeah.
that would be wonderful for GACs.
That's why we signed up already as a subscriber for that
Yes,
program. It's
yes.
free anyway.
Yeah,
Very
I know
easy,
it's
yeah.
free, might as well
Yeah.
take
Even
advantage of it.
if you pay, and it's pretense, you have speakers like yourself and Frankie that can really drive this. you know, on a more bigger scale, right?
And the goal of John Maxwell is to make it free, but he doesn't give out all the materials.
Everything,
You
yeah,
have
of
to go
course.
through by module, one
module.
lesson before he gives it, because the goal is he wants to educate all the students. So it has been already been implemented in North America schools.
It's
Even
needed
as
that.
early
It's
as
almost like
elementary.
It's almost like really going to an early ethics class.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Which
we
is
need that.
which has actually been totally zapped out in the curriculum.
So there's 3 modules under IB. It says I choose. It teaches you
I
like you
choose,
have
I lead,
I
Make
choose,
I lead.
and then you do I do, and then you I lead. Basically, you influence on your. So
Very nice, so nice. So which instructor or whose faculty is heading that? Frankie?
Frankie is the one, and I attended, and then Mr. B too
Yes.
already agreed yesterday that he will. Because you, as a facilitator or as a coach, you
Yes.
need to be able to lead the discussions among the students. You don't want, you're just facilitating, you're
Yes.
not teaching, but you make them accountable of their reflection.
Yes. Then you'll know if they're learning or they're putting that into
It's more of a
practice. Very good.
discussion.
Yes.
Where they can also earn a credit, 25
Yes,
credits
yes.
at the end. And then at the end too, they will be given a certificate.
That's
Very
good.
nice. Very
And
nice.
it's a John Maxwell. Which is
Awesome.
So we're in the works. The schedule is already, we're gonna release the schedule. We're just waiting for all the students to report cards and make sure that they first take their content classes before we give them, or the counselor assigns their elective classes. Number 2.
What happened to your language courses? Why are we not driving any language course at all?
We have language? Oh,
That's the
yeah,
foreign
the
language.
foreign language.
The foreign
Yeah.
language. What
We
happened?
have been posting, but there's no applicant, unfortunately. So this
I think
year
you should adopt one foreign language for the
Yeah,
student to pick.
we've been, but we don't want the students during the first semester to be not having any elective, so we just give them a different elective. Just nurse and the sound. Because I even asked for maybe anyone who we know who teaches foreign language. We were convincing Miss Kim because she's a Korean teacher, but
Japanese.
She's Korean.
Korean.
And
You know,
and
I'm wondering if you were to reach out to the Japan consulate office.
Yes.
I mean, that would be and let me ask somebody who actually has a relationship with the Japan school for kids. You know, there's a special
I
school.
think the
out
best is really the school.
there.
Consulate doesn't really do these things because they don't like referrals, right? Only because it preserves their entity or
Yeah.
something like.
Even
The
if you
schools
were
will
to
be
just
great.
at least offer one period, that would be a good start.
Your foreign language is very
We
important.
had one teacher when she is
You harvest
so we
is a,
lost.
harvest is a very solid foreign
We had
language.
2
course.
years
Oh,
Japanese
harvest.
1 and 2 during the COVID, but
Yeah.
the teacher unfortunately
Well,
had to
yeah,
leave.
we have one foreign language at one point.
When she
What
left,
was it?
she decided
Japanese?
Japanese 1 and 2. That teacher was teaching the foreign language, and we are in compliance with what we taught that we have a foreign language.
Yeah, because
However, she left, she decided to leave off island or
we have, I haven't seen any advertisement for us for foreign language.
we've
Of
been
course, you have to
ever since-
identify what language you guys want. So,
we posted that for but couldn't wait
Online.
anymore. Even I remember that it also paid
idiom.
but we'll get back to that. Number 2 at the back, human resource filled position. So recently we have a new teacher assistant, and yesterday, Monday, we had our elementary teacher, 4th grade elementary teacher's birthday yesterday. So you may have received the email welcoming our new employees. Current vacant positions, the certified STEM teacher, it's still there. However, because we have a good relationship with STED, somehow we are guided with the compliance of STED documents. Personal officer is still there, procurement officer. This is what we're really looking for, secondary teachers for social studies. And it's hard to, I requested today from Ms. Vedette if we could also advertise again in the newspaper, because this year, DOG, there's a lot of graduates.
Yeah, they just graduated a lot.
So other than the Facebook page and so it should come out maybe next week in the paper. One of our on-call substitutes graduated already. So she's gonna be a full-time teacher. She's gonna take over the middle school class. She's been just the constant sub for that specific middle school class, but this January 3rd, we're gonna change her status to a full-time. She already has her bachelor's degree, so she was here yesterday to submit her diploma. Employee plans, this was brought up again.
Oh, sorry.
The retirement plan from ASC. So I already contacted our Gabby.
There was a correspondence pending for signatories. Was that done?
No.
The plan
Basically,
administrator that was sent out to the debt, was that?
no, that
returned to
was
them?
ever since. So I had
No,
to.
just a few days ago. I'm one of the signatory there, but there's a second signatory there that needs to be, so I don't know
Is
if
this for the
Badetta,
vendor? Is this for the retirement
ASC,
plan?
for the continuation.
But we haven't, because I haven't even spoken to them. I haven't even told them what plan we're choosing. I
Yeah,
had to review first
So-
all the.
so that reason hasn't been responded, because I sent it back and I said, where was that now? Because we gotta be able to get that. Because we were stating that, right?
Madam Faye, you're talking about the deposit that we have at ASC. That's still,
No. Is
You're
No.
there, Miss Vedette.
but then remember they were asking for signatories for two sheets, two paper, two things that they sent over to us. So I guess it's a repetition of what we have. I think these are revised signatories for ASC. I forgot to mention, I forgot to ask whether that has already been taken care of. If that needs to be really signed off.
yeah, I think that's only to kind of update the signatures that they have on file. Okay.
Okay.
And you're the only, and you're one, I think you're the only one there that is the administrator of the retirement.
Because we have, I think in one time you have to really brief the trustees, maybe you can do it now. Brief the trustees on where we are in the ASC, because not all of the retirement were actually expended. Or some of the contributions are still sitting there for some of the current employees.
So the
But we
plan.
just stopped and then certainly it's sitting there, right?
Yes.
Hopefully collecting interest.
So I can give you a summary report or the historical record. So when I contacted Gabby, basically going back
Yes.
sometime in 2017, Miss Vedette, right?
When did we stop ASC?
2017.
Yeah, okay.
Because
So we
there
don't
was a
have money.
memo sent out that.
Yeah, there
we
was
don't
no
have the
funds,
money.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
the
no.
plan that the GAS had from before is that it was 12% contribution, whether you are whether an employee is giving their share or not.
That was revised.
And then it went down to 6%, and then we stopped in 2017. So we
You're
asked for
generous.
another quotation, and they gave us different options. So in the budget that we submitted in December 16, based on all the options, we find, Ms. Vedette and I find it sustainable if we go by the 3%.
Yeah,
3%.
I think that's very good. I think
And that there's a cap. Because if we follow 12%, we already computed from the base pay, then
out of pocket na tayo. We will not be able to sustain
and
that.
that option too is better because I'm still contemplating, if we, whether the employee, even if they don't contribute, right? They don't put
Especially
in,
the
we
ones
still
that have
get.
no more leave and everything else. So how do you stop the contribution?
No, because there's two options. So whether an employee is depositing or not, we give 3%. But
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
our
cap.
share, yeah.
Yeah, so which is a good benefit. It's for everyone.
What's the cap?
3 not to go beyond 3% of their total contribution, which is still limited, basically.
That's fair.
But at least
What is
we
social
give-
security? Did you guys compare?
Yeah, social security is 0.0765,
It's lower.
7.65.
It's
So
mababa.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
um,
lower. Okay. So it's a bit more.
Yeah.
Only because I see a lot of our young. That's why I asked them to look at it a while back, because I saw in the makeup of our organizations a lot of young employees that are just trying to start their lives, and I think if we truly want to take care of them, one of the retirements, we cannot be only just doing social security. If they wish to go and do a second contribution. Remember, we're this time, is it the 60/40?
AC.
Yeah.
It's just like the new plan, we're gonna do 50% of their.
But we're not gonna be 100% contributing that, right? So what's the share? of
It's not a
employee?
matching. Or it depends whether
Okay.
they contribute or not, we won't match it because it's gonna, I think matching, I already computed in a
Yeah.
quarter, matching is already over our budget.
Budget,
Right,
yeah.
Ms. Cadet?
So look into that carefully, because the thought, I think the intentions are very good, but again, we depend on a lot of public funding, right? And we really don't know how this is gonna be sustained in the future, but in all practicality, we should have like a common denominator, what really we can afford in the long run, right? So look into that, and when you're done, please share with the trustees on what you have came about, because look around you, there are a lot of young people here that are just starting their lives, right? And social security is fine, but then you have to be age 62 to collect that.
And matching though is because not all our employees already know the value of retirement plan.
Yeah.
So most of them won't contribute,
But they really
Yeah,
should.
but you
but
need-
they really should.
But
Yeah.
you need somebody from ASC to be part of your PD and be able to explain to them the value of what they're trying to
Right.
do investment.
And that's why we're gearing towards the organization like GAPS would be giving contribution regardless of the employee giving, donating or not, or contributing or not, which is only 3%. I already compared the numbers, whether they fully, all of them contribute, it's gonna, we're going beyond the budget.
It's
So
scary.
3% is,
It's scary. Look for something sustainable,
yes.
something like stop go. There is just really.
But basically, this is the lowest plan compared to what we had
In
before.
the past.
in the past,
Yeah, that's why we
66%, and
stopped,
there's no
because
plan.
later on it became,
Very expensive.
it's not affordable anymore. So, okay, let's go.
But I'll update you as soon as we get the final numbers. from
What is
it.
Aflac supplemental insurance? Let's just bringing this.
So it's gonna start on January. This is just it's just paperwork. Basically, it will just be taken out from
Their
their
paychecks.
pay.
Okay,
But we
yeah.
don't have any contribution.
yes,
We're just
correct.
doing
No.
it as a favor to
No.
the employees because
Yeah.
instead of them going to AFLAC and
Auto deposit,
it's auto.
auto debited from there.
Yeah.
Yes, this is
Better.
extra administration for our
okay.
accounting department, but that's a favor because there's about 38 employees who really wanted to
It's
get
not
the
easy.
supplemental and just like a easier way for them. So that it's
That's good.
automatic.
Yeah.
although we don't have any share or.
Yeah, this is really gonna be left on the option of the employee, because we already provide stable, what do you call that? What's your insurance?
Stay.
Carlos, right?
Elbows,
It's
yeah.
cabos.
Select care, so
Select
that, we already have contributions there for the employees, and they have as well. So anything additional, they have to be on their own on this, which is very good. Because anything that is not covered by the current insurance, Aflac will cover.
And most of our employees do, like they do coaching, they have kids who might happen more of an accidental insurance, which will be supplemented by. Number 3, finance, RFP for FY22 audit. So we had our meeting with Ernst and Young. It's like by Zoom call. They just have like very brief questions, but basically there are official our auditing company. So we had that meeting already. Actually, today is our second submittals of all the requirements, the documents that they are
They're very
requiring from
easy.
us.
They're
But
very,
everything is electronic.
yeah,
So
they're easy. They really do request everything electronically, right? Very unusual. The other ones
Especially on
hardcore.
the background.
They-
Yeah,
The hardcore,
hard
the
copy.
guy, otherwise are hardcore, but you would be sampled once in a while. One day they'll sample your documents, so be ready. Don't confine yourself with that, with doing it all. Like one day they ask, can I have this? I said,
which
"Whatever."
what we sent to them came from the hard copy. We have all the binder. We
Well,
just have
No.
You're not getting
Yeah,
it. Listen to him.
Yeah.
This is not all gonna be nice and easy.
Yes.
There will be times when you would be surprised to get some hard documents, and those are spot audits that they're gonna be doing. So especially,
might come.
I'm not worried about these ARPs and stuff like that, right? That really goes to them, but we're not gonna be single audit because
No.
we were
We
not.
will
There should be no
this
issue.
year.
No, it's gonna be all GDOE.
Oh,
Because-
DOE.
We
Seven-
already, just to inform you, Madam Faye, so we already have identified that the last school year, FY 21-22, we went over the 750,000 threshold. You were
Right.
here in the meeting that once you go over the
You
you go on
750,000.
single audit,
single
yeah,
audit.
yeah.
So I already identified, making,
Yeah,
we
okay,
already
good.
passed,
Good,
so
good.
that
That's-
was informed to
That's-
Senior
You
already
that we will
justified
need
already.
that.
Because once you go beyond 70,
Yeah.
you're ready for the single audit.
But we're ready.
You know, I'm not worried about that.
I'm not worried
We're very
about it either,
organized here,
yeah.
documentation wise and.
Cause Miss B already got it.
inventory-wise, yeah. Inventories and stuff like that are all syncing with everything that we have requested or spent money for. Okay, food vendor, go.
Food vendor, we opened the.
Any question,
vendor
trustees on NY in Ernst and Young?
No.
Trust Evlock, finance chair? Okay, sir,
Everything is
go.
ongoing. Yeah, IFP for food vendor, last November 16, Madam Faye and Mr. Iblak was here when we opened the technical bids. There's a report, of the grades. We just need, time to give, like, how do I say this? We are requesting from the 2 bidders.
Yeah.
Some more documentation just to clarify. You were there, right?
Yeah,
We need, there are some details that we need
And
to
on
learn
site,
from them.
are we gonna be requesting an
Yes.
on-site visit
An
of their
on-site
operation? Yeah, I think
yeah.
that is a must because I don't know if you guys remember in the past, there was the senior citizen program, feeding program that was held by a vendor on a very small, like a hut. And that's $1 million. Remember those times? This is why the
It's a
site
joke.
visit is very important.
Yeah,
It
that's
was
right.
awarded to this guy. I don't know whose time was that, some Del Governor's time, but it was a small hut. place.
And they were able to
They
prepare
were
all
able-
that food for all
yeah.
the seniors.
Yeah, it
Oh my
was a
gosh.
Chinese guy. I forgot
Million.
the name. Somewhere down in
That's a
not Agate, but I believe Jonia, their headquarters from there, but they visited the place. But anyway, I think that would be wise to be able to visit the location.
When are they supposed to submit? or
Oh, they
whatever?
already submitted.
already
We
submitted.
already opened it, Madam
Yes,
Faye.
but then you said that you're waiting for something?
No, we're just waiting for us to, because we need to
Oh, I
do
see.
something and document everything what we need from them and set up a schedule so that we can do a site visit from them. And when we are satisfied with all the technicalities, that's when we will open their price list. Because we
So
did,
that's still
Oh,
pending
the
then?
prices that.
What we did was all the technical aspect of the deal, meaning each pages we analyzed what's the difference and what all the requirements that we asked them in our bid package, did they comply with it, right? So this is, we already finished the technical part, okay? We require this, require that, so whoever complies with that, fine. But the next thing that I propose to for them to have a site visit and see how the operations can
Yeah.
really sustain us, right? Because we're only gonna be 750 forever, you know, who knows, by the time we transfer them. But beyond that also is, are they preparing our food clean?
Yeah.
In a clean environment,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Yeah.
They
and
don't
one
have-
of the, other than the site visit, we want to make sure that they send us the updated permits. Because the permits that they sent that time was
We're
like,
already expiring in
almost
November. Yeah,
me.
thank you for putting that up, because some of them, I think because we asked them to submit the visual in September.
Yeah.
So
Versus-
some of their clearances or business licenses were expiring in November. So
Yeah, to get another one.
I bid them to the punch. Now you are not required to renew your licenses anymore once a year, right? It's actually every time your license expires or towards
Yeah, you
expiration, you
renew.
can come into revenue tax. I do that a lot online. So I don't understand. But then again, they have October, November, so they probably did not realize. But it's good point that you
Make sure they
reiterated
send-
that needs to be submitted again. And that's legal. That's
Yeah.
legal.
Yeah, must be current, yeah.
Yeah, that's legal on the package. Alright. So,
So.
yeah, budget 2024, sorry, you guys didn't make it on the discussion.
Yeah.
But trustee Al was there, at least was able to really look through the budget narrative and provisions. And we were right smack on the 4.5. No more, no less, right? Or were you under budget or you just right?
We were just like,
Right.
I think, Ms. Badette, did we, it's just exactly right as the budget?
There's a variance, a very small,
Very
small
small
variance, right?
And
But
the.
We did not over budget for anything. And
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's still
Exactly.
so
765 at
what was
7,000.
changed, right? What was the change from the original budget that we
You
had?
have-
Where did we increase? Ms. Anne Rousseau and Ms. Anne Badette had actually highlighted it to you guys when you were sent the email. As a difference of what were the adjustments have to be made. Okay, and we had to take it away.
So you have also under what was exactly submitted. Oh. how come you don't have
No, I
it?
don't
Is it
have.
in the-
No, nothing. Only the document that I have to sign.
Yeah.
There's
it's in-
nothing.
No, the budget like this.
She doesn't have copy. Maybe it's
Nothing. The only one they gave
it's
is the
missing.
document for me to
Oh.
sign. That's all.
Give her a copy.
Oh, is there any? Oh, okay,
Oh,
No, this is just the minutes.
Oh,
No, the spreadsheet is there.
yeah.
okay, but
On the-
anyway.
She doesn't have a copy.
Yeah, I don't have.
Okay.
This is only the
One
minutes.
more time, have a look at it and see. We just went ahead because we were under time
Yes.
constraint. And I asked trustee Al, can you ask your wife to give us another day so trustees can read up on this, but was well prepared.
Yes.
Well,
So if you look into the narrative, I just did a summary of the 3 items that we requested for additional budget
funding,
or
right?
for
Yeah.
additional funding,
Yeah.
which is we mirrored it from the FY 2023
Yeah.
that 2023 that we submitted. Because that was approved and it was just recently approved 7,500 per pupil. So I also reached out to the other charter schools and just reconfirm with them, are we going to stick to the 7,500? Because I learned somehow we all got together and requested for 7,500 and it was just recently approved. We don't want to ask again for the next one. So we stuck with 7,500 and went around.
But if you look at the budget narrative, it specifically say how much we appropriated for the charter school. So 7,500 is it. We do not get any official transmittal from the legislature saying, Gax, this is yours. You just have to go through all the budget narrative and find yourselves, find where you are. So it was a snippet of like what the legislative budget was passed, and it's confirmed. You have no other way, no
way
other money to play
to
around but
request.
7,500.
Yeah,
But at least you got it. We
Yeah.
went from what, 65,
6,200.
62?
To
Yeah, man.
75.
When
have some
we
good
submitted
senators.
the FY 23, it was
Yeah.
6,200, and then in
Yeah.
April we
They
requested for
promised
seven
that they were
7,000,
increase
and
of
then we all
Yeah.
got together and
So
requested
I think
7,500.
Trustee
did-
Rose, you
yeah,
were right.
I've been following
What
through
did
with
they
Joe.
say? Okay, 75 and stop talking
Yeah,
to me now,
yeah.
something like that.
Because he said they're gonna do all the budget first, and whatever's left, they will give us. I said,
Yeah.
make sure you promise, huh?
But they did a
But
good
there's a lot of
due to the pressure that they had on submission.
I know, I was
Uh,
reading the.
well, If
you
you look at
really needed
the notes
Preparation.
of the WhatsApp, these guys were jamming away that 2
trying to-
days before, 1 day
Yeah.
before.
yeah.
And then the key there, which I asked Ms. Ann the questions, she was able to justify the figures. That's the key.
Yeah,
So it's mentioned here in page 2, budget
really an
items.
awesome group for them to prepare it on a very short
Yeah.
time.
Number 1 would be the retirement benefits,
Yes.
because in last time it's only 80,000. But based on the connection with
Calculation,
ASC and
yeah.
the different options, I calculated the minimum is 92,400, which is a 12,000 increase. From the
I
last
like the
time
way you
we-
present it. You do not present the big amount, you only present the small amount on the difference in what it was then. And then you presented like 92,000.
Yeah.
What?
Which is good because it's a
I
lower
like- I
amount
like-
that you're
I like the
adding
way
on.
You don't make it, you don't
Too-
flag
too
the
big.
big amount that is showing, you know.
Because
you-
if they see 90,000,
If they see that, that's what I was saying. Remember the travel? I said,
Very good, yeah. So it looks like you only have appropriated 12,000. Oh, okay.
But
So
it
they
says
won't
there
go back to
15%
the-
increase
yes,
only
yes,
from
yes.
FY 23. Number 2 is the coaches stipends, so an increase of 10,000, which is just a 20% increase. But we have informed them that we want to provide opportunities for both our students and staff to grow in the field of sports.
Yeah.
Interglastics.
A healthy fund that the legislature has approved for in this class. But I don't know where it is right now.
No, I'm not aware of that, Miss Lou, but I'm gonna ask, but for the past 2 years, we just basically mirror the stipend agreements of TOE to their coaches and their athletic directors. And then just
So that should pass.
use Ms. Sanchez's term, we gaxify it, customize it to GAPS. And then travel, which is
No, wait. Yeah, I have a question.
is
There seems to be a decrease in the budget for salaries. 2023 to the 2024.
23 is 3771.
266.
Yes, so actually this 2024 is based on the staffing pattern, everything is already plugged in. 3771 before is because, if you still remember, we wanted to do the increment
Mhm.
of, I requested 16% increment.
Right,
So
that's
the
what-
base was to add 16%, and that's why we were able
that
to.
answers my question.
That's
Now,
why we were able to do the increment of the adjustment on the compensation schedule plus the standard retention pay.
Oh, yeah.
Per
that's right,
employee.
retention.
So we got that covered.
thank you.
That's good.
That's where the jump is coming from.
Yes, but now we're already there. We already
You were
we
waiting for, yeah.
released everything that
Good
checks
For
to
all-
them.
Yeah, but that was very good because that study was made to really get off from the old increment methodology that was from the previous CL. What had happened there is we have the highest amount you can get all the way to 45,000. Anybody on 45 can go up anymore.
I
So
know, it was-
you really is telling these people,
It was
that's
locked
it.
in and it's
You were
not,
locked in, and it was just like
yeah.
some places that's only starting salary, especially if they have a few years. of experience. So that was a good move. actually.
Prevent our
And again,
teachers from
and
transferring
again,
out.
these guys really pounded the numbers. They have just changed it. We had a rest resolution adopting that new change of the matrix that needs to be used from here on.
Yeah, you did a good job.
It makes making sure that it's very fair and you can keep your employees. Otherwise,
Yeah.
We have a fighting chance to compete with GP.
yeah.
You know,
These guys are very good in creating and obtaining data to make sure that we are not going to be questioned on all of these ways that we use the matrix in
Yeah.
salary.
Yes.
And again, also the evaluations of most of our employees have now been updated. In the past, Trustee Lu and me would just want to be really very angry because you have evaluations with salary increases recommendation, but without anything documented on the performance. So that has just slowly been corrected. Some of those that were missing were completed. So that's how we're going to be moving on with the HR part of our operation, because otherwise, you did Mr. Akisa something, but you did not evaluate. The evaluation forms were all incomplete.
As long as you comply and address all the requirements.
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
That's
sad.
the key.
Fulfill, yeah.
Because if
And-
you're asking me to,
and-
if you're asking me to put additional money to this person, and there was nothing to back it up, but I'm a little leery on that. I won't give you any.
Also the thing there is that
It's already
you
done.
didn't discriminate. You didn't
It was a
discriminate.
done deal.
Yeah.
But
But it
yeah,
was, most of it was a
Remember
done.
Mark 3 times, but he never got
Yeah.
any.
you
Not a
didn't-
penny.
Yeah, because
you didn't-
he
you didn't
reached the
discriminate.
threshold.
That's the key.
Right?
I know,
It was a
because that's why I
threshold.
told Julie, he says, you're
It's
gonna
a
lose your
No more,
teachers if
no
you're
more.
not, if
Okay,
you're
yeah,
gonna
evaluate
lock
yourself.
them in.
So anyway, these guys again, kudos to Miss Anne and Miss Balette for getting that going, and maybe Miss Jamie
Miss
too, partly.
Jamie, yes,
She did,
definitely.
these three all just did all this work. So
And we
moving
did.
on and moving forward, we don't have any more inequities in way of you use the matrix in increasing the salary of our person. So
So
good
the
job.
HR committee, so basically Madam Faye and Miss Lu, every time they sign a PAR, if they just turn the page, everything is backed up with their evaluation
That's
and the
complete.
reason
Oh, that's
why they got an increment
Yes, sir.
or
No
Criminal
more, no more,
record.
no more, can you
Criminal
evaluate
record.
yourself?
Evaluate
Well,
yourself.
we caught on those things because once we started really,
That's Franklin Kilogram. He makes us evaluate ourselves, then he goes through and he puts his own
But this one is
evaluation.
different.
But it's okay for the employee to do a self-reflection.
Oh, it's true.
It really is, because then you can look at
What they have, yeah,
how they
how they
rate
value,
themselves versus you as a supervisor.
yeah.
But,
It's
but
true.
if it doesn't reflect the end product, then
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 it's
you
your,
can,
then it's your turn to really bring in your
Yeah.
concern
you
and
see?
zap it out. That's still an open, but at least, and then Trustee was correct, then it's a balanced kind of sort of
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
work that you go ahead and evaluate yourself. Of course, it's not happening here, guys.
he adopted that part of the on the P10. So in the pre-evaluation, we updated everything as we started. So Miss Maria and Miss Sanchez are now doing that. They already
Well,
require the
making sure, right?
teachers that you do a reflection first, indicate what standards do you want us to evaluate you on.
Yeah.
That way, you know you want to improve on this certain your weak
Yeah,
areas,
yeah,
I would say,
So
or
it's happening,
um,
yeah.
areas of improvement.
Yeah, very good, because
So-
the pizza format is quite,
Then we have
Complete.
supervisors also going in for unofficial observation. right?
okay, let's move on. Thank you so much.
So the last would be from the budget increase is the travel. So by $10,000. The basis on this is because just for the ticketing right now, the trip going on
It's
July
expensive.
for the rent web is already 2,500. So if
Yeah.
you're sending 2 people, 5,000 already. So how many conferences can we attend if
Yeah,
we
yeah.
only have 5,000
Yeah.
just for the ticket already?
How about mileage? Do we give like teachers that have to go out or counselors that have to go out? No mileage for the,
Per
The-
diem,
oh,
the incidentals and meals, they
Okay.
they
also
don't
have.
keep the marriage.
Oh, not, we don't
No, we
do
don't bank the
mileage anymore.
mileage. We'll let
Yeah.
them use that.
Even
we don't
EOE
bank.
don't do mileage.
I think they stopped, the whole
That's
world's
not-
already stopped backing the mileage. It
I
used
know
to
because
be, it used to
goes
be
to
you
the
bank the
governor, right?
mileage and then they have some charity to give it to the families, right? So, but then everybody just said, what? So I think they stopped that. I don't
Yeah,
hear
they
that
stopped it.
anymore,
They stopped
right?
it,
Because they
yeah.
were selling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
boy.
Anyway,
That's hard to I did not know that.
Okay, are we done? I
Yes,
have an
so
executive
that's
session
for
to call.
the budget. That's for the budget
Okay,
for FY 24. And
Okay.
then that's it.
thank
Yes.
you. Okay, I will be calling, let's
Thank you,
rise from
CEO.
a regular session and go to executive.
Right.
At what time?
this is yours.
12:48.
12:48.
No, you can stay. I want to, I want to
How do
discuss
you,
this. 12:48.
12:48.
To end,
Can we just shut
End
the
it? Oh,
sub-
So, Mr. Jonah, can we end the recording? Thank